write down your goals. Everyone needs to have goals, and this includes artists, be it to make a certain amount of money, acquire a specific job, be famous, whatever. And it's important to know that goals can and do change. But you need to have a goal, and it should pertain to what you want right now. Some of you, I'm sure, already know exactly what you want, and some of you will need to give it a bit more thought. Regardless of which category you're currently in, take a piece of paper and spend 5 to 15 minutes writing down every dream goal that you have, no matter how unrealistic that they may seem. These goals don't have to be specifically art goals either. If you want to make $10 million, write that down. If you'd like, pause this video and then continue after you're done writing down your dream goals. Next, you look over your dream goals and decide which ones are the most important to you and mark them as such. Working at Disney or creating a comic book series might be far more important than having your own fleet of ships with puns for names. Prioritize them. Some of your goals might even lead into each other. The career you want might lead to the amount of money, which might be the stepping stones towards a shipyard or mansion. If the goals don't tie into each other, the lower priority ones need to be put on the sidelines for now, and you need to focus on the ones you want the most. Take these goals that you want more than anything and write them down on a new sheet of paper and be very specific about what they are, why you want them, how you're going to get them, and by when you want them. This is where we break down the goals into actionable steps, as to avoid fuzzy goals. If someone were to say that someday they'd like to have a house in the hills, it probably won't happen. That's a fuzzy goal. If they, however, know which hills, how much the house would cost to buy, and to afford to live in it, and how much they'd need to save each month for the next 5 years, or whatever their deadline is, their odds go significantly up, and they'll probably have that house. You might not know exactly what actions you need to take to achieve your goal, and this is okay. You can search online, contact somebody who has achieved it or a similar goal, get some books, or a mix of all these things and more. But everyone gets to the destination a bit differently, and there's no absolute set-in-stone way that you have to follow, and a new, easier way might come along on your journey. Years ago, there was no real feasible way to make millions of dollars playing video games. Then YouTube and other sites came along, and all of a sudden, it is. It's hard. It's very hard. But now it's possible. What's important is that you don't spend too much time trying to figure out the how, because you'll learn from the mistakes along the way. You'll ditch old tools for better ones, and you'll be able to tweak and rework your plan of action until it works. But don't delay. Get started on your goals immediately. You'll want to take the paper where you wrote out your goals and have it somewhere out in the open where you can see it every day. Don't put it in a drawer. Don't put it in a closed text file on your desktop. It needs to be where you can see it, and you need to read it every day. At the very least, once in the morning and once at night. You need it where you can see it, so that's a constant reminder of what you're working towards. It'll help keep you on track and help you set aside distractions so that you can make progress each day. You might get really excited about your goal, and this is good. You have to have enthusiasm. But there's a great quote by Napoleon Hill that says, "Tell the world what you intend to do, but first show it." I've seen articles say contradictory things, one of which is to make a public commitment so that you feel more pressure to live up to it. I've seen people do this time and time again, and it's not enough, and then they still don't do it. The other article I saw was that telling people your goal or dream makes you feel the same sort of satisfaction as having actually achieved it. And because of that, you can lose the motivation to follow through. I've experienced it many times. I've seen others experience it as well, where you tell them about a project that you're working on or something that you're definitely going to do, and something happens, or it doesn't pan out for whatever reason, or reasons, and we're left feeling stupid. Because of this, I'd absolutely recommend keeping your goals and dreams to yourself until you have something to show for it, as to avoid these discouraging scenarios, especially since your goals should be big goals. The difference between failure and success is often people aiming too low. The author Grant Cardona's book, The 10X Rule, talks about how people aim too low and the amount of work that they believe it will take to reach this goal is almost never enough. But if you make your goal 10 times bigger and put forth 10 times the effort that you believe necessary to achieve this bigger goal, your worst case scenario becomes that you didn't succeed as hard as planned, but you still succeeded. Instead of having a fleet of ships, you might just have a single yacht. Something else that you can do is find and print out pictures of the things that you want and put them up like a collage, as additional reminders as what you're working towards in your workspace to keep you motivated. Should you pursue a goal and find while working towards it that it isn't what you actually wanted, that you started your goal in pursuit of creating a comic book only to find out that you would much rather be a fine artist and work in oils all day, that's perfectly fine. Just reflect on your experiences and what you've learned, rewrite your goals, and begin again. If anything is unclear or you have any questions, feel free to ask in the discussion or message me.